Time? Go time? Say yeah, first marathon?
First time.
First time and not only time? Stockholm, guys. You have to run Stockholm at some point. Amazing. Yes, too many inclines though. Let's push, let's go. Oh my god. Oh. Oh, we did it. Not my best of runs, but I did it. We got it done. That's the important part. Important part is to get through the goal. Finish. That's it. That's the goal. Work on it the next time. 10-year anniversary run. 10 years ago I did this. Worst conditions and weather. Absolutely horrible day. But I got it done. But anyways, I swore to never do it again after that run. But look, 10 years later, this is my 6th Stockholm Marathon and my 13th marathon and counting. Tack så mycket.
What's up, awesome people? It is right now 2 days after the Stockholm Marathon, Monday, and I've been resting practically all day today. Yesterday I didn't get to rest as much. I actually went to work, believe it or not. I had work for about 4 hours from 7 a.m. to 10. So that was fun. Yeah, just unreal feeling of, not remembering that I was in pain or my legs were in pain from running a marathon the day before, but I actually felt all right. I didn't feel any injury or anything. It was just soreness after the run, but I've been practically I would say resting all day today. I did some chores at home. I just took it easy, as one should right after a marathon. You just try to recover for the first week, just like you're on this kind of high that, okay, I should maybe squeeze in an exercise, but no, not a good idea. So for this video, I will mostly just talk about just go through how the race went for me, and then just like put the segments of those clips while I'm talking about it, right? So how did it go for me? It went decently. Okay, to be frank, I was slightly disappointed, but the main goal was just to finish, I guess. I have not run a marathon since New York in 2023. Now that was like a year and a half ago. I was supposed to run Frankfurt last year. That's in October, if I'm not mistaken. I didn't get to do Frankfurt because of work schedules that really messed up my plans. But so my training for that kind of dwindled down. And the training afterwards was almost non-existent up until, was it February? I think February, March. I think March is when I started training for this race. Just barely got on March, but it was April and May that was mainly just put my training on April and May. Now, I'm not I don't usually train during winter because I live in Sweden, and winter and training, I don't usually go to the gym anymore. I mean, to do with treadmills, but I think I'm gonna have to work on that. That's one of the things I have to work on. Now, the race in general went really well. Fantastic experience from my perspective was amazing. Stockholm Marathon, the organizers did an amazing job. The volunteers were absolutely heroic. The paramedics were quite busy actually. Did a really great job. Everything from security, everything. It was record. I think it was 24,000 runners. Were really great. Even the tubs, the water tubs, where you can dip your hat or your sponges, because it was quite a warm day. I mean, it was great temperature, up to 18-19 degrees during the I think from like 2 p.m. onwards, and with some really generous breezes. So like it was really all right. But when you run, you do add about I think 10 degrees. Your body temperature raises up a bit, so it will feel like maybe it was 28 degrees. So I started my race with a goal in plan. My aim was to hit sub 4. The first half went according to plan. My average pace was as it should be. And then just after the first half, I was starting to feel woozy, and I didn't want to risk bonking hard and just kind of being one of those that might be picked up by paramedics. So yeah, it wasn't. I started to slow down my pace right after that, and so yeah, I finished. I finished at a time which was, funny enough, the exact hour and the exact minute of how I did 10 years ago. Now this is my 10-year anniversary run. So 2015, that was my first marathon, and I didn't know what to expect. I just kind of, if I remember correctly, I went faster paces. It kind of like I did intervals. Like I would run really fast as I could, and then I would walk until I felt like, okay, let's run again. So I think if I remember correctly, that's how it went. But also that day was really horrible in terms of like weather-wise, and it was just not the best of days, and especially that was my first marathon, so I was just not feeling it. So in general, I would say my general opinion of this year's marathon was really good. The organizers did a really great job in general. The volunteers were fantastic. Apparently the organizers ran out of medals at the end, so like the last finisher, so to speak, didn't get any medals, unfortunately. So I hope that's something that can be looked on and improved for the future. If you know how many people are registered, make those same amount of medals. And how can you run out of medals if it's around 23,000 people running, or 24,000? If those are amount of people registered, it should be those amount of medals. But hey, I don't know so much in the process of medal production. Maybe the producers didn't get enough time to produce all of them. I don't know. Actually, my friend, he was one of those unfortunate ones who missed out on the medal. In the end, she even texted me like, "Am I supposed to get a medal somewhere?" And I said, "Yes, go, go back." And then she talked to staff over there, and they said that they ran out of medals, but they'll be sent through in the mail. Now I've experienced this once, and this was in Paris. I did Paris Marathon in 2018. Now, I was that marathon experience for me was not good. I mean, that's a story for another day. But I was nearly cut off from the marathon. I was like kind of in the very back. It wasn't that day for me. When I finished it, I actually got a medal, and then I got a medal sent to me by mail from the organizers. I was quite surprised. I was not aware of this, but they said, "Oh, we're sorry that you missed out on the medal. Here's the medal sent to you by mail instead." So I think this is probably something that happens to all marathons. I guess, I don't know, or the big major ones, I guess, that they will not have the right amount of, they will not have enough for everybody. But anyways, enough about that topic. So that is one of the negatives, or some of the things that need to be improved on, is just, you know, have the same amount of medals for the registered amount. If I'm going to criticize, I love Stockholm. I love this city. I've been living in this city since I was 10. So I'm almost 30 years I've been living in this city, and it's beautiful in all its stretches, but there are just some stretches that are a pain if you're running a marathon, especially the long, slow stretches of inclines. Now there are a few spots that we know it has to be there because it's part of, you know, Stockholm's iconic, you know, route, but especially Västerbron or Westerbridge, sorry, Västerbron, that's iconic. It always has to be there. And I actually have to drop a little tidbit that when I did this the first time 10 years ago, we did the Västerbron twice. Just think about that. For those who remember running Västerbron, and you think, oh, once, that's, you know, that was fun, or if that was painful, mostly it will be painful. But imagine doing it twice for a marathon. That's what I got to experience. There are a few stretches, so I said there were a few inclines, a lot more inclines that I am accustomed to in terms of the marathon route. I was not particularly a fan of when we went up, you know, Karlaplan, or Karlavägen. This is when you're turning towards Valhallavägen and then going to Gärdet and, you know, Djurgården. But going up that stretch, when you see the Stockholm Stadium and the clock tower, in my mind, I'm used to seeing that only once. And it shouldn't be a repetition. So there are a few stretches where I hope that organizers could be a bit more kinder to in the future, where it's not repetitive. Strandvägen is fantastic. Strandvägen is a fantastic place to do a repetition. It's a psychological effect. This is just from my perspective, okay? Of course, every year there are some little changes. I know there was a lot of changes this year as well, but I hope for the future keep that in mind, or at least be kind to us runners. So yeah, but at least what I can take out from this recent marathon is that I did my best. That's the important part, is I finished. That's the most important part there. And also an extra shout out to my friend Tia, who did her very first marathon. I'm super proud of her, considering I've kind of coached her. And of course made sure that her experience would be on the more pleasant side than the opposite one. And from what I've heard from her, it was a great experience, but also, you know, future marathons. She's not scared of running future marathons, at least that's what I can take from what her vibe afterwards. She's just in awe, and she's kind of shocked that she actually did it, considering a year and a half ago she was just not she barely ran, I think, beyond 5 kilometers, and she just told me, like, yeah, I admire that you like running marathons. I don't think I could ever do a marathon. But yeah, right now I'm just going to rest this week as much as I can. maybe catch up on some shows that I haven't had time for lately. I think just got into The Last of Us season 2. I'm in the middle of it right now. I'm in so late. I have like The White Lotus season 3, blah 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 blah. So thanks for tuning into this episode, and I hope you enjoyed my little experience of Stockholm Marathon. For those who have not run Stockholm yet, you should. It should be on your bucket list. Stockholm is an amazing city. I would say it's a beautiful. I'm closing my eyes because it's all a lie. I'm just kidding. sorry. Stockholm is a fantastic and beautiful city. You should run it. It's very scenic. The organizers are well. It's well organized. It's just a few inclines too many. From us, it's just my take on it. But anyways, until next time, guys, stay awesome.